At the start of the drama, we see our female lead, Xiao Xing, riding a bus with her family. They're moving from a village to a small town. During the ride, she keeps thinking about everything that happened over the past few years. Deep down, she hopes this new place will give them a fresh start, a better life. Soon after, we see the family celebrating the opening of their small restaurant. Everyone is hopeful. Maybe now, finally, things will be normal. Xiao and her mom set up the restaurant inside while her younger brother and dad go outside to hand out flyers. But people just drop the flyers on the ground without a second look. Then the first customer walks in. But things go wrong right away. The customer accidentally spills noodle soup on the table. Xiao's little brother rushes over to clean it, but the woman blames him, says he splashed dirty water on her food. The boy holds up the towel to show it's completely dry. The woman doesn't like that. Out of anger, she pours hot water on his hand. Xiao's mom immediately walks over and offers the woman a fresh plate of food. She's scared of getting a bad reputation on day one. Meanwhile, the dad is trying to cool down his son's burned hand. Xiao watches all of this and quietly walks outside. The woman refuses the new food, says some rude things, and leaves. She gets on her bicycle, but her tire is flat, and that's when we realize Xiao did that. She got revenge for her brother. It becomes clear right away. She does not let injustice slide. Later, the family comes home. They unpack and treat the brother's burned hand. The brother asks, "Why did we come back to this town?" Mom explains it's better for their education and that things were already falling apart before. It's time to fix everything, she says. Then Mom reaches into a bag and pulls out a sock. Her hand trembles slightly. Xiao immediately grabs it and runs off to burn it. We find out the sock belonged to their older sister, Jin Kyung. Xiao comes back to the room where Mom and her brother are unpacking. She spots her school file. She gives her brother a quick look. He understands instantly. He asks Mom to help him put a pillowcase on. While Mom is distracted, Xiu quickly tosses a pile of papers onto the bed so Mom can't see them. Mom notices the papers anyway and says, "Look how good your sister was as a student." She tells them Jin Kyung had been accepted into the best school in the village. Then Mom quietly leaves the room. Xiao sits next to her brother. He grins and says he wants a reward for helping her. The next morning, Xiao is sitting alone near a big tree. She writes herself a letter, telling herself to stay strong in this new town and let go of the pain from the past. She puts a leaf inside the envelope and sets it beside her. Then a boy dressed in all black walks up behind her. His name is Mingqing. He says the leaf is his, and so is this spot. Xiao, completely calm, says, "This tree is public property. It belongs to the government, not you." Mingqing grabs the envelope from her and says the spot is his, whether she likes it or not. Xiao tries to grab it back, but can't. She shrugs and says she doesn't even want it anymore, and turns to leave. Then Mingqing says, "I know who you are. You're her sister." Xiao freezes. No one had said that name out loud in years. She tries to walk away, but Mingqing grabs her wrist. She bites his hand and runs off, leaving him standing there, shocked and angry. Back home, Xiao is getting ready for school. Her little brother pulls out an old pair of shoes. They used to belong to Jin Kyung. The moment Xiao sees them, she snatches them and snaps at him. "Why are you keeping things like this?" She throws them aside. Her brother says quietly, "Jin Kyung was our sister. What's happening in this house isn't right." Xiao tells him to drop it. He looks at her and says, "You're turning into Mom." The next morning, Xiao walks into her new school in her old uniform. The family can't afford a new one. She stands in front of the student notice board. Two boys spot her, realize she's new, and offer to show her around. They take her to the swimming pool, saying their class has pool cleaning duty. Xiao agrees, but it's a trap. One boy says it's actually his turn to clean. The bully smirks. She's new. She'll do it today. And just like that, they push her in. Xiao screams. She can't swim. Someone reaches a hand down to help, but when she looks up and sees the face, it's Mingqing. She refuses his hand. Someone else throws her afloat, and she climbs out on her own. Mingqing stares at her, genuinely shocked by how stubborn she is. Later in class, Xiao sits next to her seatmate and quietly thanks her for lending gym clothes while her uniform dries. As she settles in, she glances at a small mirror on her desk and sees Mingqing sitting right behind her. She tenses up. She's been avoiding him ever since she found out he knows something about her older sister. The teacher starts a lesson on harassment. Xiao shifts uncomfortably. The teacher calls her name and asks, "Where can harassment happen?" Xiao stands up nervously. "I don't know," she says. Her seatmate whispers. Page 43. Xiao opens the book, but the entire page is covered in scribbles. She tries to hide it fast, but the bully snatches it and holds it up to the teacher. She's scribbled all over it last night. That's why she doesn't know anything. The class whispers. Xiao feels deeply humiliated. She thinks to herself, her mom did this. At home, Xiao confronts her mom furiously. Why did you scribble in my book? Mom says it's useless information. It won't help anyone in real life. Xiao snaps back. If Jin Kyung had known all of this, maybe what happened to her never would have. Mom's face goes hard with anger and warns. Never say that name in this house again, or there will be consequences. The next day on the way to school, Mingqing spots her and calls out. She ignores him as usual. He blocks her path and asks why she always runs from him. Then he casually says the bite mark she left on his hand still hasn't been paid for. He demands she do his homework for the rest of the semester. Xiao refuses, but Mingqing quietly says, if you want to know the truth about your sister's death, you'll have to listen to me. Xiao goes cold. Her family told her Jin Kyung died from appendicitis. Now she's confused. Is he just trying to scare her? Or does he actually know something? In class, she sits down and reluctantly starts doing his homework. Mingqing comes over and says she's smart for giving in so quickly. Xiao pushes the homework at him and tells him to leave. He says he's not going anywhere and that every girl at school would want to do his homework. She says sharply, then let them. He walks away irritated. Her seatmate asks how she knows Mingqing. Xiao says he's bullying her. The seatmate says he's actually the most popular boy in school, a top student who helps everyone with their studies. Xiao can't understand how someone can be both a bully and a top student at the same time. Later, she passes the basketball court where Mingqing is playing with his friends. She remembers once seeing them chase a boy and take his money. She thought they were bullies, but it turns out they were catching a thief and returning the money to a woman. Still, she's not convinced they're good people. A basketball hits her head. Her classmate runs over to help. The bully girls laugh. Xiao walks away, but Mingqing follows her and asks if she's okay. She says she doesn't need his concern. She knows what kind of person he is. He says he was just checking whether she'd be able to finish his homework tomorrow and hands her his notebook. She gets even more annoyed. He asks for her phone number. She says she doesn't have a phone. He doesn't believe her and insists she's avoiding him. She insists she really doesn't have one. So he takes her landline number and leaves. On the way home, Xiao sees her little brother coming out of his school. He asks if she knows Mingqing. Apparently, he's the most famous basketball player in the area, handsome and talented. Xiao tells her brother that Mingqing is forcing her to do his homework in exchange for information about how Jin Kyung really died. Her brother isn't shocked at all. He says most people in the village knew Jin Kyung because she was very beautiful and admired by everyone. Xiao says sharply, beauty isn't a blessing. It's a burden. A beautiful girl becomes every man's target, and the ones who can't have her try to destroy her. Her brother says he always thought she was jealous of Jin Kyung. Xiao says clearly, I was never jealous. I hated her choices. She remembers a time when Jin Kyung was arrogant about her looks, and once when Xiao tried to stop her from being with a dangerous man, Jin Kyung humiliated her. Xiao says her sister's actions ruined their whole family. While she was alive, and even after her death, the family has been bullied and disrespected because of her. I wish I never had a sister like that, she says. The next day, Xiao walks into school angry and decided she's not going to let Mingqing use her sister's name to bully her anymore. She throws his homework and notebook back at his face and says he's a liar and a bully, and that Jin Kyung's death was from appendicitis, just like her family said. If he's so sure, he should bring proof. Mingqing says she has no proof either. Then he tells her his father works at the hospital where Jin Kyung was treated, and he personally saw the reports. He knows she didn't die from appendicitis. He walks away, leaving Xiao deeply shaken. Xiao sits at her desk, going back and forth in her mind. Does she want to know the truth, or is it better to let everything stay buried? That evening, Xiao's cousin, Jin Rui, comes to visit with his fiancée, inviting everyone to their wedding in their home village a few months later. Xiao congratulates him, and they go to the balcony together. They're close. He gives her some pocket money and says not to tell her mom. She thanks him. The next day, Xiao goes to school again and throws Mingqing's homework back at him. She says she doesn't care if his father is the hospital director. She doesn't believe the doctor lied. She tells him to stop threatening her. Then he walks away. Xiao sits quietly, unsettled. One day at school, some students complain to the teacher that Xiao is dressed inappropriately. Her skirt has a period stain. She rushes to the bathroom and asks her classmate for clothes. But the classmate nervously asks, is it true your sister died of that disease? Xiao is shocked. She drops everything. Then she realizes this rumor wasn't spread by Mingqing like he threatened. Out of anger, she walks out without even changing and finds Mingqing in front of everyone. She grabs his arm and shouts that she always knew he was a bully, but she never thought he'd go this low as to spread something this disgusting about her sister. Mingqing says he didn't spread anything. When he arrived that morning, everyone was already talking. He then casually says, "Put on some pants. You'll catch a cold," and walks away, leaving her even more furious. The next day, everyone at school is gossiping and laughing. At the cafeteria, two girls take her seat and refuse to let her sit. She stands in the middle of the room, feeling everyone's eyes on her. A senior girl invites her over. Xiao says she doesn't want to be a burden. She'll just eat quickly and go. Later, she's cleaning the pool when Mingqing walks over and says he got proof from the hospital about her sister's death. Xiao lunges for it, but he says not so fast. Then, knowing she can't swim, he throws the file into the pool to provoke her. Without thinking, Xiao jumps in. Everyone is shocked. Mingqing is shocked too, and immediately jumps in to save her, but she pushes him away and tries to reach the file herself. When he finally pulls her out, they discover the papers inside were completely blank. He was just bullying her again. In front of everyone, Xiao tells him she never thought he could be this low. But in that moment, Xiao realizes something. She can't escape her past until she finds out the truth. She decides she will find out how her sister really died. She goes to the hospital and speaks to a doctor. She explains she's Jin Kyung's younger sister and just wants to know if she really died from appendicitis. The doctor says that's almost impossible. Appendicitis is a simple surgery and nobody dies from it in a large hospital. Xiao's world shakes. What she'd believed for years was a lie. Leaving the hospital, she runs into Mingqing. She nervously says she just came for a checkup. He says he doesn't care and walks off. She follows him, because now she's starting to think he might actually be telling the truth. Back home, Xiao is distracted, lost in old memories of why they had to leave their village in the first place, where her sister used to live. During the school holidays, the family travels back to their original village to visit relatives. There, an old neighbor tells Xiao that her sister stayed alone in that village for a long time because something bad happened to her there. Meanwhile, Mingqing is with friends when he overhears some people saying terrible things about Jin Kyung, that she was easy and would go with any boy who said sweet things to her. He checks their phone and realizes they're the ones spreading rumors. He thinks about messaging Xiao to warn her, but stops himself at the last second. Later, Xiao runs into an old classmate of hers in the village library. He seems happy to see her and says it's good that she's finally moved on from her sister's death, that Xiao is a good girl, not like her sister. Xiao is confused and upset. She asks why he would say that. He says Jin Kyung wasn't a good person. Xiao walks out, hurt. She then visits the oldest nurse in the village, someone who has worked at several hospitals. She asks about Jin Kyung. The nurse says she doesn't know the exact reason Jin Kyung went to the hospital, but she's sure of one thing. Jin Kyung was pregnant, and their mother was very angry, especially when the baby's father refused to take responsibility. Xiao asks if she knows who the father was. The nurse doesn't. That night, Xiao comes home and ignores her mom. She goes to her room and tells her brother everything. She says she thinks the baby's father might be behind Jin Kyung's death, maybe to stop her from exposing the truth. Her brother tells her to stop digging into the past, or she'll get herself into trouble. But Xiao isn't stopping. She decides to visit that classmate again. Maybe he knows more. They sit in a cafe, and he says he'll order her a boba, her favorite. But by coincidence, Xiao's mom is passing by and sees her sitting with a boy. She immediately drags her away and tells the boy to stay away from her daughter. At home, mom scolds her, says sitting with boys is not okay, and she needs to be careful, or the family's reputation will be ruined again, just like it was because of Jin Kyung. Xiao says she's nothing like her sister, but mom warns that boys deceive girls, and that Jin Kyung also thought she was smart, until it was too late. One more mistake could bring even more shame to this family, she warns. A little later, Xiao's aunt comes to visit. She has mental health problems. She grabs Xiao's hand and says she'll tell her everything, but Xiao has to come with her. As she's pulling her, a diary falls from her hand. On the cover is Jin Kyung's name. Then the aunt's husband arrives, quickly apologizes, and takes his wife away. Xiao keeps the diary. Before opening it, she hears her mom's words in her head. She thinks about her aunt's fragile mental state. She tells herself she doesn't want to bring more pain to her family or dig up a past her mom is trying to forget. She wakes up her brother and says they'll burn the diary together. She lights the first page, but stops herself at the last second. She thinks, if I burn this, I might regret it forever. A little while later, she notices thick smoke rising from the house behind her. She and her brother run back to find the house completely burned down. Xiao is heartbroken. That house held her sister's memories. The family returns to their new town, completely broken by the loss. The next day at school, all students gather in the gym for height and weight measurements. When Xiao takes her shoes off for her turn and comes back, her shoes are gone. The bully students laugh and mock her for not even having shoes. Humiliated, Xiao goes back to class barefoot. Mingqing sees her like this. Without saying much, he places his sneakers in front of her, says he was going to throw them away anyway. She can use them for today. Xiao has no choice but to wear them. She can't go home barefoot. When she gets home, her mom notices she's wearing boys' shoes. Xiao lies and says her shoes got lost and she found these in the trash. Mom says she's lying. Nobody throws away shoes that expensive. Then her brother comes out and tells mom the truth. Xiao is being bullied at school because of Jin Kyung. Mom sits down with Xiao and says Jin Kyung also came to this town hoping for a better life, and it didn't work out the way she hoped, but she doesn't want Xiao to give up the same way. She tells her, stay strong at school. Graduate, then go to college in the capital and build your own life. The next day, Mingqing finds his sneakers on his desk, washed and clean. He understands Xiao did it and quietly smiles. It's the first time he actually thinks about her differently. When Xiao comes out of class, Mingqing is waiting outside, pretending it's about the shoes. He says since she washed them, he can use them again. Then Xiao says something unexpected. I'll do your homework for the whole semester, but I have 2 conditions. First, he brings her Jin Kyung's hospital report. Second, he gives her his phone. Mingqing agrees immediately. The next day, he hands over his phone and shows her the report, but says she'll get the actual report after exams so she doesn't get distracted. Then he leaves. Xiao goes home and starts studying seriously, determined to earn that report. Sometime later, her mom comes home to find both siblings waiting. Her brother says his teacher needs his old school report. Mom goes to the drawer where the family documents are kept. While she's heading over, Xiao intentionally burns her hand with hot water from the stove. Mom runs over and scolds her for being careless. In that moment, her brother takes out Mingqing's phone and quietly photographs all the documents in the drawer. Later in their room, they go through the photos, but find nothing important about Jin Kyung. Xiao is disappointed. She starts thinking she took Mingqing's phone for nothing. The next day, Mom notices 10 yuan is missing from the drawer. She calls her brother in. Out of fear, he says he was trying to take the money and his sister helped, but he doesn't mention the documents. Mom already noticed the phone. She asks Xiao how she got such an expensive phone. Xiao panics and says she found it in the library and was going to return it. Mom shouts at her, accuses her of lying, and assumes a boy gave it to her. Mom decides she'll go to school herself to return the phone. At school, the teacher tells Xiao she can tell the truth if she took someone's phone. Xiao sticks to her story. She found it in the library. Then, over the loudspeaker, a phone was found in the library. The owner can come and collect it. Mingqing hears this. Some girls start saying Xiao's mom is there because she thinks her daughter stole a phone. Mingqing walks right past and says nothing. Xiao tenses up, relieved but nervous. Mom notices his shoes and wonders if he's the boy her daughter knows. But then she sees other boys wearing the same brand and says it must just be a popular style. A few minutes later, the friendly girl from the cafeteria comes in with a teacher and, in front of everyone, says she left her phone in the library and thanks Xiao for returning it. Problem solved. Afterward, Xiao thanks the girl privately. The girl tells her, it was actually Mingqing who told me to do this. That evening, Xiao gets a message from an unknown number. Someone says they want to meet her to tell her about her sister. She meets the boy the next. He says he was Jin Kyung's classmate and that she was terribly bullied, but he was never strong enough to help her, even though he was her only real friend. After graduating, he left for studies. When he came back, he saw Jin Kyung with a dangerous boyfriend and heard people saying bad things about her. Xiao cuts him off angrily and asks why he's telling her this. Did he come just because he felt guilty for never helping? Maybe that's why her sister's mental state got worse? The boy says he feels guilty, yes, but he came to give her something, a CD of Jin Kyung dancing ballet. She was a talented ballerina. At that moment, Mingqing and his friends pass by and see Xiao with the boy. One friend whispers, "Isn't that the girl who says she doesn't talk to boys? Look at her now. Maybe she'll turn out just like her sister." Mingqing snaps at him to shut up, but quietly, he feels something he doesn't quite understand. Jealousy, maybe. In school, Xiao is sitting at a computer for a group project, but she's actually searching her sister's old student profile. She finds a photo of Jin Kyung with a girl. She contacts that girl, who says she can meet now. Students gossip that she's probably meeting that boy again. Xiao meets the girl and introduces herself as Jin Kyung's sister. She asks about Jin Kyung's boyfriend. The girl says it's complicated. Jin Kyung didn't just date one person, she dated several boys, most of them dangerous or criminal types. But one day she met a simple, kind hairdresser who genuinely liked her. When her gangster boyfriend found out, he showed up with his people, destroyed everything, and beat the hairdresser until he swore he had no connection to Jin Kyung. Then the gangster mocked Jin Kyung, said her new boyfriend sold her out instantly, and she had no one left but him. The girl says Jin Kyung was always sad and looking for love outside of home because she desperately needed it. People misunderstood her. She kept finding herself around dangerous men. She was just looking for love in all the wrong places. The next day, Xiao's bicycle chain falls off in the park. She can't fix it. Mingqing happens to walk by and fixes it for her. When she starts to leave, he asks, "Not even a thank you?" She says thanks. He says he wants a real thank you. He wants her to ride him home. She refuses. He sits down on the back of her bicycle and won't move. She has no choice but to start pedaling. On the way, he asks if the boy she was with the other day was her sister's friend. She stops dead. She gets off angrily and tells him to get off. He moves to the front and makes her sit behind him instead. As they ride along, Xiao decides to just tell him everything, the truth about her sister. Mingqing listens. Then he says, "This doesn't make her a bad person. Maybe she was just looking for love in the wrong places." The next day, as Xiao is leaving school, she finds her sister's ex-boyfriend, the gangster, standing right outside. He tries to talk to her. She sees classmates nearby and feels uncomfortable, so she tells him to go somewhere else to talk. They go to a cafe. The moment students there see the gangster, they all get up and leave. He has a dangerous reputation. The man sits with Xiao and tells her she looks nothing like her sister. He says she's young now, but he'll make sure she turns out just like Jin Kyung. Then he asks if she has a boyfriend. Xiao panics and tries to leave. He grabs her and says she can't go that easily. He's about to force himself on her when his car alarm suddenly goes off outside. He rushes out to check. In that moment, her kind classmate and a girl named Momo appear, grab Xiao's hand, and rush her out through the back door. They run. Outside, Xiao thanks the girl and asks how she knew. The girl says Mingqing saw her walk off with the gangster and told her to follow and help, while he went to set off the car alarm. But that's not the end of it. That evening, the gangster shows up at the family restaurant. After eating, he goes up to Xiao's mom to pay, and instead of just paying, he drops a tip on the counter and says, "Keep it. Your daughter is my girlfriend now." Mom recognizes him. She refuses the money. He forces it onto the counter and says he's going to be her daughter's man, so she should treat him well. Then he walks out. Mom, trembling with fear, throws the money on the floor. The next day at school, Xiao finds out the gangster has left love letters for her at the school entrance. Her friend panics and asks if she's really his girlfriend, just like her sister was before. Xiao tells her it's not true. Leaving school, Xiao rushes to get away before the gangster can catch her. Outside, Mingqing and his friends are sitting and watching all of this. One friend says she's probably running from her gangster boyfriend. Mingqing doesn't like that at all. On the road home, Xiao feels like someone is following her. She turns around, and it's Mingqing. He says he wants to walk her home because he's worried about her safety. He walks ahead. She follows behind. For the first time, she feels safe. At home, she watches him go and stays at the door for a moment. Later, Xiao asks her brother why their parents were always so passive. Why did they never protect Jin Kyung from the gangster or call the police? She decides to ask them directly and goes to the restaurant. But when she gets there, she finds it completely destroyed. The gangster is sitting in the middle of the wreckage. He's asking her parents about their younger daughter. Her dad, scared, says his daughter is still young, and if she's done something wrong, please forgive her. The gangster says Jin Kyung was his girlfriend. She used him for money, and she was seeing other boys behind his back. He says the whole town will pay her debt. Just then, Xiao walks in and throws water at him. Her dad panics. The gangster stands up. Dad tries to step in front of Xiao, but then police sirens are heard outside. The gangster gives a warning that he'll come back for revenge and leaves. The moment he's gone, both parents turn on Xiu, demanding to know why she went to the cafe with him and what she was thinking. Xiao shouts back, "I did it because of you. I just wanted to know the truth about my sister. The truth you never told us. You couldn't protect her when she was alive. You can't even say her name now." Then she runs out, crying. The next day at school, Xiao is on edge. A student comes to class and tells her her boyfriend is causing a scene outside. She goes out and tries to ignore the gangster, but he blocks her path. Xiao reaches into her pocket and pulls out a sharp object. She's about to use it, when Mingqing grabs her hand and takes the cut himself so she won't get in trouble. He steps in front of her to protect her. Then the police arrive. The gangster runs. Mingqing looks at Xiao with concern, then looks at the whispering students. He takes off his coat, drapes it over her head, and leads her away from the crowd. Later, Xiao's mom is called to the school. The principal wants to suspend Xiao for hurting a student, but Mingqing says he was the one who stepped in, and he chose to get hurt. A teacher backs him up, saying the gangster had been harassing female students near school for a while. Mingqing says the injury isn't serious, and he's the one who's hurt. The principal gives Xiao one more chance, but Xiao wishes she hadn't gotten that chance, because things only get worse. The bullying increases. The gangster starts disturbing other students because of her, and everyone takes it out on Xiao. Trash is thrown at her. She gets locked in the bathroom. Only Mingqing and one loyal friend stick by her side. On the weekend, Mingqing misses her. He orders food from her family's restaurant, just to hear her voice on the phone. But this time, Xiao delivers the order herself. When she arrives at his door, he's shocked to hear her voice. He reaches out a hand without a word. She says she wants to talk and brought him a small gift. When he doesn't come outside, she opens the door and walks in and is shocked by how he lives. The whole place is a mess. She jokes that if the students knew their top student lived like this, they'd laugh. He says he has hasn't been able to clean because of his injured hand. Xiao thanks him for helping her at school. He says a simple thank you isn't enough. If she really wants to make it up to him, she should clean his place. She starts cleaning. In his room, she finds a photo of his mother. The moment she picks it up, Mingqing shouts at her not to touch anything. Embarrassed, she leaves. The next day at school, Mingqing tries to talk to her, but she ignores him in gym class. He follows her around trying to get her attention. She finally says she's done dealing with him and walks away. He shouts after her in frustration. At home, Xiao's mom tells her they're going to the city to change her name because her sister's name is bringing bad luck. Xiao loses it. She says she will never change her name. It causes a scene in the train station. People nearby think her mom is kidnapping her and call the police. Mom begs her to tell the police she's her daughter. Xiao says nothing and walks away, leaving Mom to deal with the police alone. Later, her dad brings Mom home. Mom scolds Xiao. Xiao says it was the only way to stop the name change, and she'll never agree to it. A few days later, it's time for Jin Rui's wedding. The family travels to the village. There, Xiao learns that Jin Rui isn't actually their blood cousin. He was adopted. The family loves him deeply, and he's highly educated. Jin Rui comes to Xiao's room and invites her to go shopping with him for wedding things. On the way, Xiao asks about her sister. He says Jin Kyung was very sweet as a child, but when Xiao was born, the family's attention shifted to the new baby, and Jin Kyung started feeling alone. Jin Rui says he was always there to comfort her, which is why they became close. But when he left the village, her mental state got worse, and eventually she died. Xiao thanks him for sharing. The next day, Mingqing tells her about a charity event where he'll be performing and invites her to come along. She agrees. She also decides it's time to finally read her aunt's diary to learn the truth about her sister. The moment she opens it, she's hit hard. The diary reveals that Jin Kyung had a relationship with Jin Rui, and she got pregnant. But Jin Rui abandoned her and the baby. Their father forced Jin Kyung to have an abortion. After that, Jin Kyung moved to another village to hide the truth. There, broken emotionally, she started dating other men trying to forget Jin Rui, but never could. Xiao is shattered. The cousin she always thought was a good person had been hiding something this huge all along. That night, the whole family is at dinner together. Jin Rui's mom casually tells Xiao's parents to keep an eye on their daughter so she doesn't go down the same path as her sister. Xiao snaps. She says her sister only went astray while she was living in this village. So how did that happen? Jin Rui's mom says boys are the ones who corrupt girls. Xiao immediately replies, "Then it must be Jin Rui who corrupted my sister, because he was the only boy she knew." Jin Rui visibly flinches. His mom tells Xiao's father to control his daughter. The father, indifferently, just says, "Don't speak that way in front of elders." Xiao makes up her mind. She finds a small music box among her sister's old things, with a photo of Jin Kyung and Jin Rui on the cover. She secretly places it in Jin Rui's room. When he returns and sees it, he's shocked. Xiao enters and tells him she knows everything. He tries to deny it. She says the photo is just one small piece of proof, and she will expose him in front of everyone. She contacts her classmate and sends her a copy of the diary to print multiple copies. Meanwhile, Xiao's mom finds Jin Rui alone and hands him a savings book. She says she never touched a single coin he sent over the years. She doesn't want compensation from someone who caused her daughter so much pain. She says she forgives him, only to protect his parents' hearts, but she warns him, never do to his future wife what he did to Jin Kyung. Then she walks away. Later, everyone is preparing wedding invitations. Xiao's mom gives her a box and asks her to take it to Jin Rui's room. On the way, Xiao runs into Jin Rui. He takes the box from her and apologizes, says he truly regrets what he did. Xiao asks if he means it. He says yes. She says she'll forgive him. They're family, but her eyes tell a completely different story. That night, Xiao stays up and slips the printed diary pages inside the wedding invitation cards. She has decided she will get justice for her sister. The next morning, the bride is getting ready. Xiao sits with her and asks how she met Jin Rui. The bride tells her love story, and Xiao can see she's genuinely happy and telling the truth. Xiao is almost ready to tell her the truth about Jin Rui when her mom walks in, and Xiao goes quiet. Outside, Mom pulls Xiao aside. Xiao says she knows the whole truth now. Mom says moving forward is hard, but accepting that he's marrying someone else is even harder. Still, she says, they don't want to be like Jin Kyung, someone who destroys other people's lives. Xiao goes back to the room where the invitation cards are kept. She thinks about whether what she's about to do is right. She looks around at the happy faces. She decides she won't do it. She picks up the box to take out the printed pages. But just as she's leaving, she overhears a guest say, "Why was that family even invited? A family like theirs only brings shame." That changes everything. She thinks it's not fair that Jin Rui gets to be happy while her sister and her family carry all this pain. She walks back into the hall and hands out the cards to every guest. People read. People find out the truth. The bride picks up a card, reads it, and walks out of the wedding. Other guests follow. The hall erupts in chaos. Everyone starts looking for Xiao, but she's already gone. She makes it to the train station and waits for the next departure. She falls asleep briefly and wakes up to find her wallet has been stolen. She goes to a police officer to report it, but when he asks for her details, she gets scared that the truth about what she did will come out. She tells him she found the wallet and walks away. She wanders with no direction. She stops outside a small noodle restaurant starving. She goes in and asks to use the phone to call Mingqing. He doesn't pick up. She looks at the menu. Noodles cost 10 yuan. She only has 9. She asks the owner to give her a small discount. The owner takes pity on her and gives her the food for free. After eating, the owner tells her to leave quickly. The area gets dangerous at night. Xiao asks if she can work there instead. She has nowhere to go. The owner agrees. The next morning, Mingqing finds a note from Xiao and immediately leaves for the village where she is. Meanwhile, Xiao is washing dishes at the restaurant, exhausted. She accidentally drops a plate and panics, apologizing repeatedly. The owner tells her she looks exhausted and that this work isn't easy. Xiao begs for one more chance. A while later, an old friend of Jinkyong's passes by and spots her. He comes inside and tells her to go home. She refuses. He says he knows Jin Rui did wrong, but punishing the whole family isn't right. Xiao says the whole family is guilty. They covered up the truth and never stood up for Jinkyong. She says she'll never forgive them. He tries to convince her, but she runs off. He shouts after her, "You're going to fall." And she does. She collapses. Snow starts to fall around her. As she drifts in and out of consciousness, she dreams of her sister comforting her. She got her revenge, but she doesn't feel peace. In reality, Mingqing has found her and is rushing her to the hospital. When she wakes up, she sees her grandmother is also at the hospital, unwell. Xiao feels guilty. Someone had warned her this might happen. Mingqing quickly takes her out of there before anyone sees her. Mingqing brings Xiao back to his town. He says she can stay at his place. He lives alone, and her family would never think to look for her there. She disguises herself so no one recognizes her. At his home, he gives her fresh clothes and tells her to rest. He steps outside to give her privacy. She showers and changes. When he comes back, he tells her he contacted her family. Everyone is okay, but her parents are devastated and want to see her. People are already sharing her photo around town. A few days pass. One morning, while they're having breakfast together, there's a knock at the door. Xiao gets scared. Mingqing hides her in his room and tidies up her things before answering. It's his father. Mingqing tries to lie, but his father notices the extra shoes and a hairbrush. He understands Mingqing is hiding someone. Without a word, he leaves and tells no one. Xiao comes out and Mingqing apologizes. He says he'll change the locks. The next day, while Xiao is alone at home, there's another knock. She opens the door. It's a girl from school who lives near Mingqing. The girl is shocked to see her and walks in. From the way she talks, it's clear she has feelings for Mingqing. Xiao tells her she's only staying temporarily and will be gone soon. She doesn't want to be anyone's problem. Eventually, Xiao leaves the apartment, but just a short way down the street, people recognize her and start taking photos. Her parents arrive immediately and take her home, saying how worried they've been. But her grandfather scolds her harshly, says she's become just like her sister and brought shame to the whole family. He says she must publicly apologize to everyone in the village. Xiao says she did the right thing. Her grandfather tells her father to force her. If they don't comply, the family will never have peace. Back in her room, Mom follows her in and asks where she was. Xiao won't answer. Mom says she already knows. She was with Mingqing, because that's the only person she knows here. Mom warns her, "You're walking down your sister's exact path, and if you keep going this way, you should leave this house." Xiao actually starts to walk out, but Mom grabs her and slaps her, the first time she's ever physically hurt her. She says she won't let this happen again. A huge argument breaks out. Mingqing watches from his window across the way, angry and heartbroken, but doesn't know how to help. The fight ends when Xiao gets a cut on her face. Mom immediately feels guilty. She's never hurt her daughter before. Xiao goes to her room. Her little brother cleans her wound and puts a bandage on it. After that, Mom has an iron gate installed on the front door, so Xiao can't run again. She also takes Xiao's clothes over to Mingqing and strictly tells him to stay away from her daughter. The next day at school, the bullying gets worse than ever, especially now that the whole town knows about what happened at the wedding. Xiao is drowning in shame. In class, Mingqing tries to talk to her. She immediately moves away. She doesn't want people to connect them or think she ran off with him. But Mingqing doesn't give up. He follows her everywhere until she locks herself inside the music room. He knocks and says he knows she's in there. He just wants to know why she left without telling him and why she never replied to all his messages. Meanwhile, at home, Xiao's dad tells her mom she should listen to grandfather and go to the village to apologize. Mom refuses. She says she won't let her daughter be controlled the way Jin Kyung was. She calls grandfather herself and says she won't let her second daughter's life be destroyed. Dad says he can't take any more of this, but mom, finally breaking down, tells him, "You're a coward. You never stood up for either of your daughters." She reminds him how his own family forced her to keep having children even when her health was at risk. Still, Xiao decides to go with her father to the village and apologize publicly. She stands up in front of everyone and says she won't do it again. But Jin Rui's mom says there is no next time. Her son's reputation is already ruined. Grandfather furiously throws his walking stick at Xiao's father and says he should beat his daughter. But for the first time, her father refuses and holds Xiao close. The grandfather steps forward to do it himself. Just then, Xiao's mom arrives and puts herself between them. She gets down on her knees and apologizes on behalf of her daughter. Afterward, Jin Rui's mom continues insulting Xiao's mom and her daughters. Finally, Xiao's mom reaches her breaking point. She tells the truth. She was the one who distributed those photos to get revenge on the boy they adopted, a boy they couldn't have biologically. Jin Rui's mom loses control and lunges at her. Xiao steps in and shields her mom. A huge fight breaks out. In the end, the family leaves the village. Later, Xiao and her mom are riding their bicycle together when the chain falls off again. Mom tries to fix it, but can't. 3 boys pass by and recognize Xiao as the girl from the photos circulating online. They start harassing her mom. Mingqing happens to be nearby. He pretends not to know Xiao and goes to sit with his friends instead. His friends ask why he did that. He says if he steps in, Xiao's mom will get more upset and the rumors will spread even further. He's protecting her. But then one of his friends shows him a fake, embarrassing photo of Xiao that's being shared online. Mingqing's anger explodes. He confronts the boys and fights them, and ends up getting beaten himself. At school, Xiao joins the ballet club. She decides she'll fulfill her sister's dream. Meanwhile, Mingqing focuses on basketball because he misses Xiao but can't reach her. One day, Xiao receives a file that came from the hospital, probably sent by Mingqing. It says Jin Kyung's condition was stable after the abortion. She was discharged healthy, but 2 months later, she died. Reading this, Xiao is now certain her sister's death was not natural. Her brother tells her to stop digging. She already got revenge on Jin Rui. But Xiao isn't done. At school one day, a classmate tells her that a participant has dropped out of the ballet competition, and Xiao can take the spot. She hesitates at first, but at home she thinks about how happy her sister would have been to get this chance. She decides to compete. On stage, she dances beautifully, and everyone is impressed. Mingqing watches her with pure admiration. Just then, her mom and brother happen to be walking by. Mom suspects the girl on stage might be her daughter. Xiao spots her and immediately runs off stage. Her classmate hides her. Mom comes looking. The classmate lies and says Xiao isn't there. Mom leaves. Mingqing takes Xiao's hand and leads her away. That evening, as they walk out of school together, Mingqing tells her he's decided to study medicine at a university in the capital, and that this might be their last time together since he's leaving soon. Xiao can't find the words. She's sad, and she knows she'll miss him. When he asks if she has anything to say, she goes against her heart and says in a cold tone, "Best of luck to you." Mingqing walks away. His heart is broken, because by now, he genuinely loves her. Later, Xiao finds out her mom has been taking antidepressants. She asks her dad, who tells her that mom has suffered from depression ever since Jin Kyung's death. She just never wanted to worry the kids. Now her condition has worsened, and she needs medication. Hearing this, Xiao starts volunteering at the city hospital. One day, a woman approaches her and says she recognizes her. She's Jin Kyung's sister. She tells Xiao that Jin Kyung used to volunteer there too, working against AIDS. She also mentions that Jin Kyung fell in love with a boy, but he told her to stop volunteering, and after that, she never came back. Xiao goes home and tells her brother she's now more sure than ever that her sister didn't die from illness. She was discharged in stable condition. Something else happened. They pieced together that while Jin Kyung was in the hospital recovering, she kept getting harassing phone calls. People bullying and insulting her. Their mom tried to protect her but couldn't. In the end, Jin Kyung decided to end her life. Their mom arrived just in time to try and stop her, but couldn't. She watched her daughter die in front of her. That's why she fell into depression. Her brother asks how Jin Kyung, who was always so timid, could have done something like that. Xiao says quietly, "Sometimes life is more frightening than death." The next day, Xiao visits the psychiatrist who treated her sister. The doctor gives her a video, one Jin Kyung recorded herself. In the video, Jin Kyung explains everything. Her family didn't want her from the beginning. They wanted a boy first. When they found out she was a girl, she was neglected. She grew up feeling invisible. Then Jin Rui came into her life and manipulated her emotionally. He got close to her slowly, and because Jin Kyung was starved of love, she couldn't say no. One night he crossed a line. Afterward, he told her it meant nothing, just a one-time thing. After the abortion, and when she tried to move to a new town, rumors about her had already spread. She tried to stay away from everyone. The only person who seemed to protect her was the gangster, so she stayed close to him to avoid other dangerous men. But in reality, she needed protection from him too, because he was abusive. Then she found out she had HIV. When her family found out she was in the hospital, they came to her and apologized for never taking Jin Rui to account. They took care of her, and her condition stabilized, but by then she was too deep in depression. She couldn't carry the illness, the shame, and the loneliness anymore, so she chose to end her life. Watching this, Xiao breaks down completely, and for the first time, she truly understands her sister's pain. Shortly after, the family receives news that Xiao's grandfather has died. They all go back to the village for the funeral. After the ceremony, Jin Rui's mom announces that grandfather left the house to Jin Rui as compensation. Xiao's parents say they have no problem with it. Then Jin Rui's mom says she thinks having Jin Kyung's ashes in the family cemetery is bringing bad luck. She wants them moved somewhere else. Xiao's mom walks in, calmly confirms she heard that, then completely loses it. She beats Jin Rui's mom, releasing years of pain. Xiao rushes in and stops her. She says, "That's enough." Then she says calmly, "We'll take our daughter's ashes ourselves and find her a beautiful resting place." And that's exactly what they do. After that, Xiao is practicing ballet at a hotel for an upcoming competition. She gets so tired that she falls asleep there, and the staff accidentally locks the building with her inside. Outside, Mingqing arrives with his mother, who is one of the competition judges. A staff member mentions a contestant is locked inside. Mingqing checks the list and realizes it's Xiao. He runs to unlock the door and wakes her up. When she says she's staying there because she can't afford a hotel, he brings her to his room. She thanks him and says he always shows up to save her. He says, "That's just my luck, and I'll always be with you." The next day, the competition begins. Just as Xiao is about to take the stage, the music cuts out. She freezes. Then Mingqing walks onto the stage and sits at the piano. He starts playing, and she dances to his music, beautifully and freely. Everyone in the audience is moved, including Mingqing's mother, who understands everything in that moment. Afterward, as they walk together, Mingqing says she's sure to win. Xiao says winning doesn't matter to her. She just wanted to stand on a stage and dance like her sister once did. Then Mingqing says it's his last day in town before he moves to the capital. He asks, "Will you come with me on one last date?" She says yes. He drapes his scarf over her shoulders and takes her to a fish market. They laugh and take a photo together. Then they ride bicycles to the sea. At the water's edge, Mingqing takes her hair tie and says he'll keep it as a memory. Xiao returns to her normal life, but one day, the gangster shows up at the restaurant again, demanding she become his girlfriend. Her father, who has always been passive, finally snaps. He picks up a gas canister and a lighter and threatens the gangster. The gangster turns pale and runs. The next day, the gangster follows Xiao and asks again. She asks what he really wants. He says Jin Kyung used him, took his money, and was seeing other boys behind his back. When he found out she had AIDS, she left, and he exposed everything online. That's when Xiao understands. He's the one who spread those rumors. She says, "My sister was in the hospital getting better. She saw those rumors, and she chose to die because of them. She was only with you because you kept other men away from her. She never loved you. She couldn't because you hurt her." She slaps him. The gangster crumbles under the weight of his guilt. He realizes his actions led to her death. He stumbles away. Later, Mingqing's friends tell him what happened. He's furious. His friends say he's leaving tomorrow anyway. Just let it go. But he can't. That evening, he goes to the gangster and hits him. But the gangster doesn't fight back. He's too drowning in guilt. That night, Xiao sits beside her mom while she takes her medication. She says she always thought her mom was cruel, but now she understands. Mom was sick, and she loved her all along. She tells her mom that Mingqing was always there for her. Mom says she was just scared. Xiao is still young. Xiao says Mingqing is gone now. She might never see him again. At that exact moment, Mingqing is at the family restaurant, eating there one last time. Weeks pass. Xiao does well in her exams and qualifies for college. Her dad is overjoyed and tells everyone he sees. Her mom takes her shopping and says, "You're free now. Take care of yourself. Enjoy your life." Later, a friend tells Xiao that Mingqing had beaten the gangster so badly that night that the police came, and they assumed Mingqing was intentionally putting himself in prison to get away. And that's exactly what happened. Hearing this, Xiao runs straight to the big tree where she first met Mingqing. She stands there, remembering him, wishing she could see him. She joins university. Her mom gives her a phone and tells her to live her life without fear, to always look beautiful, to enjoy every moment. Back home, her brother tells her something. Before Mingqing left, he came to the restaurant one last time. He ordered spicy noodles, and while he was eating, he was crying. Her brother thought it was just the spice, but Mingqing had said quietly, "I can't leave her. I can't forget her." Xiao finally understands. He loves her just as much as she loves him. University days pass by. Xiu waits, just hoping to see him again one day. One day she goes to the seaside. the same place where they spent their last day together. She stands there, lost in memories. Then she hears a voice behind her. She turns around. It's Mingqing. He says, I came back for you, and I'm never leaving again. He confesses that he has always loved her and would do anything for her. Xiao smiles and says, I love you too. I've been waiting for you. Mingqing walks toward her and says, from now on, we're always together. And with that, the drama ends.